We'll be planting about 100 lineal feet of vegetable garden here today. We built this garden in this walled-in space that was already here. It actually had a concrete pad. Their kids used it for basketball and skateboarding, but they've long since outgrown that, and this became an unused space. So I convinced the owners that if we use the orange slump block, and this matches the house, so we keep that architecture, build these raised planters. They're just high enough so that you can sit on them comfortably, reach all the way into the middle of the bed from any point around the planter to be able to work them without bending your back too much. And we built the paths wide enough so you could easily maneuver a wheelbarrow through here when you're changing out your plants or your soil or doing any major work here in the garden. Now we've already prepped the soil in our beds, so we're ready to plant them organically. One thing that's really important is where you plant your vegetables in the garden. Now we're lucky enough to have a lot of different solar orientation in this garden. This is a north-facing wall, so there's a lot of shade in this bed. It will get more sun in the summer. So I've elected to go ahead and plant their lettuce crops in here. It'll let them last a lot longer through the summer, and they'll be able to come out here and go ahead and just pluck whatever they want for their dinner with a pair of scissors and put it in their salad bowl. Make sure that when you plant these things, you don't plant them too deep. You pretty much want to make sure that you're staying right at the top of this root ball when you plant these plants. Now, a little bit further over here, we have a bed that's pretty much always going to be in the sun. This has got a west wall, but this is right out in the middle here. Now, as we're planting all of these things, every once in a while, just go ahead and take one of our marigolds and pop them into the garden too. Remember, they're helping to keep the bug problem down. I've got some corn right here that I'm going to plant back through here. They're going to like the hot sun. I've had a lot of difficulty with corn. You never really know when to harvest it. It grows pretty fast here in Arizona. But one thing that you can do, and you can do that with all of these vegetables, is harvest them when they're small. You see those in the bags in the store. You pay a lot of money for them. Well, you can do the same thing here in your garden. You can actually eat them raw, put them right in your salad, or if you've got some zucchini or something like that, harvest the little ones and just go ahead and steam them. Now over here, we've got some artichokes, and they're going to take up a lot of space. They'll get up about this high, especially when they're blooming, so they need that area there, and they like the sun. And this over here, this bed is actually south-facing, so it's going to get a lot of hot summer sun. I'm putting all our red hot chili peppers in this area here. Now in front of us, these two middle beds are going to be our strictly organic beds. Remember, we were able to get some garden vegetables that were grown organically from the nursery. So we're keeping them separate from the rest of this stuff here. Right here, using the shade of the Ramada structure and the mesquite tree that's here, I'm going to be planting the tomatoes. Now these are organic tomatoes again, but they don't want to be in the full sun all day long. They need a little bit of relief from that sun. Now on tomatoes, normally you want to plant those a little bit lower than the top of the root ball. Put a little bit of soil right up over the stem itself. And then here, we're going to go ahead and do some of our organic seeds that we were able to get from the nursery. I've got some carrots here. All we really need to do, make a little furrow here, rip this open. You usually put them in your hand. It's easier to grab them instead of pouring them out of the bag. You just kind of sprinkle them in here as you go. And then go ahead and just kind of tuck it over like that. Tap it down and let the watering system do the rest of the work. Well, it's really nice to be able to grow your own vegetables and come out here and harvest. That's one way to really make your household green.